So the first topic I'm going to talk about is Trista's open to 80.5 at the box office. This is great to hear. I love the movie. I will be putting a review for the movie at some point this week, so keep a lookout for that. But this is great to hear this as a movie fan when it comes to movies over succeeding at the box office. This movie is projected to open between 45 to 55. And I know the budget for this movie was 155 to 200. So it's great to see this movie open 30 million more than what was projected. And as someone who loved the movie, I'm always happy to see a movie that I love personally doing really well at the box office. Then this leads into my second topic, which is that it's great to see the box office doing well. Like I know a lot of people were worried about the box office with the month of May where you had Furiosa, F and Fall Guy was all tanked at the box office. But I always looked at that as like, well, I don't think people were really excited for those movies. I was, but I think there's tons of reasons why those movies didn't do well at the box office. Because you've had hits this year, like you had Doom Part Two, which made it over 700, and had an 82 million opening. That was one of the biggest movies this year. You had Kung Fu Panda 4, which made over 500. I think it had a 60 million opening. And then you had Godzilla X Con Your Empire, which had a big opening and made over 500. So you had some box office hits. Like it was a slow start to this year because I just didn't feel like there was a whole lot of movies people were excited about. But it's great to see that we're getting into the part of the second half of this year where really you're having a couple of hits now where you're having movies people are really hyped up about. I mean, you had A Quiet Place Day One, which had the biggest opening in franchise history with 53, and it's made over 240 with 60 something budget. You had Longlegs, which opened in 22, and that movie cost 10 million plus 10 million to market it, and that movie's made 40 something. So you had two hits there. You had The Despicable Me 4, which I never really got into that franchise, but those movies tend to make a lot of money. And that movie, I believe, had 100 something openings. So you had a movie there that did well. You had Inside Out 2, was open to over 100, and it's the biggest movie this year, making 1.4. And now you have Tristas with over succeeded expectations and open to 80.5. So it just shows you right now that you have like I feel like we get into the part of the year where you have like movies people are excited about. Like you got Deadpool Wolverine coming out, which is gonna probably open in a high hundreds area. Like I know it's projecting between 160 to 166. I could definitely see it hitting like the 166 area and maybe even succeed in that expectation. Because to me that's like one of the biggest movies of the year, in my opinion. It's definitely going to make. I definitely think it's going to make a billion. I do think Tristan is going to have a good hold in this second week because of the positive road when it comes to this word of mouth. Like Deadpool Wolverine is definitely going to have a gigantic opening, but I do think Tristan's will still have at least a decent hold for the second week because I do think it's one of those movies that it's one of those escape summer blockbusters. So I do think it's going to have like a good hold in the second week, but I definitely think Deadpool Wolverine is going to take up a lot of its money and going to make a gigantic opening. But it's just great to see now that like the box office is doing really well because you've had a couple of hits in a row now since the Quiet Place Day One, and it seems like people are going back to the theaters because you have a couple of movies in a row that people are actually excited about to see. And I always say this: you never know what movie is going to hit at the box office for people. Like every year, you're gonna have movies that are going to do terrible, and you're gonna have movies that are going to do well. So you never know. But it's just great to see this as a movie fan. The next topic I want to talk about is that Kevin Feige confirmed that Blade will be all rated, which I am so glad to hear this. Whether this movie happens or not, because I'll admit I'm starting to believe this movie might not happen because it's been through multiple directors, writers, and I am concerned about Marcel Ali's age, even though I do still want to see him as Blade because he's past him at the character, and I think he's just a fantastic choice. But at least it's glad to hear if this movie does happen, that will be all weighted because he was saying how you know it has to be like true to the character when it comes to aesthetics. Because obviously, when people think of Blade, they think of the Wesley Snipes Blade movies. Blade wasn't really a popular character; like he wasn't like an A-list character in the comics back then when he was created. So I do think a lot of people, when they think of Blade, they do think of all way because of the Wesley Snipes movies. And I think Blade's the type of character where I do want to see him all way. Like I don't want to see a PG-13, but isn't a Blade. This also gives me hope that maybe we'll get an Electro all way movie too when it comes to seeing unless a movie where she actually is an assassin and it's bloody and violent. Well, I would love to see her already Ghost Rider movie. This also shows to me that Kevin Feige seems like this is why I think he's a fan just like everybody else. He seems to like know, okay, certain characters need to be all weighted. When it comes to just when it comes to like, I'm not saying like all weighted like will make a movie better. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to story and character. But I do think there are certain characters that really brings out the like who the character is in that type of a setting or vibe. I definitely think Blade's one of those characters to me that if you're gonna be feel like more true to the character, then I do think you need to go all the way to with Blade. So it's great to hear that if the movie actually happens. The next topic I want to talk about is that Supergirl has been confirmed to be in the new Superman movie because I know they have the Supergirl movie coming, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and it's been confirmed that she will be in the Superman movie. Which I was thinking she probably would be. And I know it's been rumored, and it makes sense because she's Superman's cousin, and I could see it being where she's in the movie for like a cameo for a scene, just to set her up for her spin-off movie. Which I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for James Gunn's Superman movie. But this is something I'm not surprised by because, like I said, she's Superman's cousin, and I could see them having her be in that movie to set up a spin-off movie in some way. The next topic I want to talk about is that there was a new Beetlejuice trailer that came out. I thought the show was great. It just looks a lot of fun. I love the original Beetlejuice, and it feels like it's capturing that vibe of the original. I mean, the effects look great in it. I love the fact we're going into the living dead world, which we only saw some of it in the original movie. And the idea of Lydia and Beetlejuice teaming up to save her daughter, I think that just to me is great because it feels like okay, we're going to be doing something a little different too by going into the living dead world and seeing more of that world a little bit more, and having an idea of just those two teaming up, I think could be really fun. So I thought this was just a fantastic trailer. I cannot wait for Beetlejuice. Hopefully it's one of those great legacy sequels, but definitely a fantastic trailer. Can't wait for this movie. The next thing I want to talk about is Deadpool Wolverine put out his final trailer. Now, I am going to spoil something in this trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, stop the video now because it does show a cameo in this trailer. So, do not, if you're somebody who who doesn't want to know anything about when it comes to some of the cameos in Deadpool and Wolverine, then I would just say stay off social media. Don't watch the Deadpool and Wolverine final trailer. For me personally, I didn't find that big of a spoiler because this character was rumored to be in this movie, and I had a feeling that this character was going to be in it. But I'm going to say who it is. So stop the video at this point and don't, skip ahead if you don't want to know who it is. All right. So the cameo in this trailer is X-23 from Logan. And that moment, man, I love that moment. I also love how somber and serious this trailer is. I love the dramatic tone to this trailer. Because one of the things I felt like kind of lacked in Deadpool 2, and let me say this, I think Deadpool 2 is fun. But I feel like the first Deadpool movie had that really great balance of this personal sweet story with the love story while being funny. I think while I was Deadpool 2, I just felt like leaned a little too much on the jokes. I feel like this is kind of feeling more like the vibe of the first Deadpool movie for me personally. And I just think this trailer was a great final trailer. It looks so much fun. I love the dramatic tone. So I love seeing clips from all three solo Wolverine movies. It's funny to see stuff from X-Men Origins Wolverine because that movie is considered by a lot of people to be the worst X-Men movie. And I do definitely think it's the worst X-Men movie. But it's great to see clips from all three of those movies. And even that moment, seeing that moment from Logan, we have X-23 holding his hand. I mean, that's just I love Logan, and that's just to me one of the best moments in comic book movies. And that moment where she says to him, when you see her in this trailer and older, the actress back but older, it's just great to see see her character again. And I think she's gonna play more of a part in this movie than just a cameo. But overall, it's just a great trailer. This was just a great final trailer. It hit all the dramatic notes. It hit all the notes when it comes to being funny and fun. I cannot wait for this movie. So the next topic I'm going to talk about is that Alien Romulus put out a new trailer. and this is the final trailer for it, where it's a 3 minute trailer. Like I say, I thought this trailer was great. I like this too. This trailer for me, and what I loved about RPS trailers is that it just does a great job of capturing the horror vibe. Like, one does I love about the first two original Alien movies, Alien Aliens, because yeah, Aliens is an action movie, but that still has great horror moments in it. And the original Alien is a full-on horror movie, so I'm glad it feels like it's going back to basics. And I love the way the alien looks and the face how it look in this movie. Like, I know the director said they were going more practical. Obviously, there will be some CGI, but the alien just looks great in this. And there's just a lot of great moments in this trailer where you feel the horror, like you feel like these aliens are scared, like you're scared of these aliens again. And I also love the fact in this trailer that you don't see the alien too much. That's one of the things I really love about the first two alien movies too, is that you didn't see the alien or aliens and aliens too much. Because when we get to Alien 3 and Beyond, they did the whole CGI route with the alien. I always felt like that was just the alien never looked good when they did the whole CGI route with the alien in the movies in Alien 3 and Beyond. But I love the fact you don't see the alien too much in this trailer, so it just gives you that feeling of like just the feeling of like horror, like these things you'd be scared of. So I thought this was a great final trailer. I also love the fact that it showed more about the plot, where it seems like this crew is like on a heist. They're gonna heist this spaceship. Was I'm definitely curious about the heist element of this movie, because that's something I think is really cool and new about the Alien movies, where that is something new about the Alien movies, where you haven't had an Alien movie that had like a heist element to it. So I'm definitely curious what they're like trying to take, what this crew is going on a spaceship to steal, because I think that also could add some tension there with the idea of this being kind of like a heist movie in space with the alien and the face hugger with the alien trying to kill them. So you do get more of the plot there, which I love, and just overall, like I said, great final trailer. I cannot wait for Alien Romulus, one of my most anticipated movies of the year. So that's all the movie topics today. Until next time, movie fans.